let's jump into some new stuff, huh? What do you
Yes.
think? You ready?
Let's do it. Yep.
Okay.
Ready.
You want to go first? You want me to?
What are we talking about? The fishing?
Yeah, let's do fishing goals. Let's stay off of the Real AF TV stuff here, and we'll tuck those in at the end. As far as like Real AF TV production and larger stuff like that. Let's get
yes.
at those fishing goals.
So, well, I really only wrote down one thing. Well, I had two things. One of them was to I literally wrote down maybe revise to catch a dog, maybe revise to catch a dogfish, then go for state record. So,
Right.
maybe let's get our priorities in order here.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
so,
I wrote that down.
but then the other one I wrote that obviously we got all our other stuff, so I'm not talking about like the ice fishing, but as far as like new goals go. But a new goal is, so we've shared that I got the electronics. I want to make sure everything is set up. I didn't even get a chance to get on the open water to give that a shot. I got that all excited, like I'm going to be able to fish in the fall. I never got a chance to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to have all that ready to go before we hit the open water season. And then as soon as we hit open water,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get out as soon as possible, and I want to fish pre-spawn crappies. I want to try to learn.
Oh,
I have a good idea of where crappies are in the wintertime, and I know where they spawn, and I want to find them in between. I want to find them pre-spawn before they are
I'm gonna put that in all caps early.
Yeah, early because they'll move from their winter spots to their staging area. They should move relatively close to where they're going to spawn, but just deeper waters off of that. So it should be pretty close to where they are in the winter. But I want to find those schools. My electronics I don't have the forward facing imaging and stuff, so I don't have the top of the line. But I have the top of the line if we go back 10 years,
Yeah. So let me ask, because you went from ice into pre-spawn and stuff like that. So I got to ask a question that I don't know. And I'm just curious about the way that I heard the story is, are you going to go out pre-spawn, as soon as ice open or as soon as ice breaks, however you want to put it? If that's when you're going to hit the water, are you going to be using a combo of your ice electronics and your open water electronics, or your open water's just got it all? I don't even know if you could use them both.
Just the open water, because the flasher is just kind of showing you what's directly below you, and I could use a flasher, but when I have a full graph set up, the flasher is pointless, and they can interfere with each other. And on a bigger boat, it can make sense where the transducers are spaced out a little bit. But my boat, everything's so close to each other. I don't.
Yeah, you have a one-person boat. There's.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I might have two graphs on there already, because I have my old one hooked up, and that transducer is on the trolling motor. I might just put the other transducer in the back and literally have two graphs right next to each other.
Oh.
Or I might have the other graph there and get rid of the transducer and not have that on there, and just use the first graph as the GPS. So I have a 5-inch GPS, so I know where I'm at. And then the big screen is for the side imaging, and whatever I end up configuring.
Yeah.
Because you can split screen it 3 ways, so there's a bunch of different options.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So it's the goal is get out early, pre-spawn crappie. That's what I have written down. But in the end, this is tweak the electronics, because that's how you started it too, right? I mean, if this is get out and experiment, learn the electronics, and just see what you can do with those.
Exactly.
It's a byproduct, sort of.
Right. Yep. I want to learn about that. I want to know, I have a pretty good idea of where the crappie should be. and I'll know where the walleye are. I can't fish for them yet.
Right.
But that's another thing. I want to like physically see some walleyes, because they're in the shallows. It'd be cool to just get some eyes on them to be like, all right, I know where you're at now. And then, when it comes time to be able to fish you, then I can just try to like figure out like, okay, where did they move? Are they still here? And if not, where did you move? Because it's not far, probably.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, maybe you can just like start with the assumption of, okay, they're just off that ledge that's 100 yards out. Like, bet you.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and it's the same. Sick. It's the same, but like opposite for the crappies. Because when it hits spawn time, that they're going to move up into like the protected bays. So you're basically just figuring out like, okay, where are they holding in deeper water off of this?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing in the winter, even. Like, they seem to be pretty close to where they would spawn, but like the deepest spot of the lake off of that, basically.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, and there's, obviously, we say it all the time, there's exceptions to every rules. That's not where you're going to find every single one of them. That's not there's no cut and dry. If there was, fishing would be a lot easier, and there wouldn't be all these electronics and everything to figure everything out.
Right. But it's a damn good place to start.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You need a good spot to start.
Yeah.
I think too many people overlook that, like, not trying to get all philosophical and stuff, but too, when you hear somebody talking about a lure, or I've even thought about this where like I've thought about, putting out the little quick shorts on Instagram or whatever to be like, this is the lure I'm using today. And it's not saying that this lure is going to catch every fish in the lake on this day. It's like, this is my starting point.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, I will be confused and I have to figure that out. But a lot of times on a certain day where you have the weather and everything lines up, you're just like, I've had tremendous success on this exact day in this exact setting with this lure. This is what I would use. And if it doesn't work, then you got to go, what the hell?
Right.
That happens too, where you go, what is different today versus that other day? It was the exact same thing. It was overcast.
Right.
I was using a topwater bait. Like this, there was a storm, like, 2 days ago, and nothing since. Like, it's that kind of thing where you're like, everything seems to be exactly the same, and I can't get anything to bite on this. I do not understand what's going on right now.
Right. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
So it's all a puzzle. It's all figuring out patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you have those patterns that pop up, and that's your starting point. So it's I just went off on this rant because you worded it perfectly. That is your starting point.
So. Yeah. No, and you're even hitting on a bunch of stuff that we always talk about on Real AF TV. It's like I've talked about earlier on, in the earlier podcasts, I should say.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I want to embrace the word fail more, because like people have made fail into such like a shitty thing, or like a thing that like, oh, you can't fail, you can't fuck up. Like, that's just not a thing because the internet's so perfect, right? So like, it's really funny to fail videos or whatever. I watch them, they're funny. But like, it's almost like troubleshooting is really what you're doing. It's like you're going out, you're fishing, and yes, you're failing by not catching fish. Let's embrace the word, like, let's kind of change fail. But like, you didn't fuck up, you learned something. You are taking that now and you're dissecting it and you're troubleshooting it and you're trying to rethink what just happened and rework what's happening in real time, even sometimes, right? Where you say, I got this lure, all these conditions, it seems to work, bam, it's not working, okay, now what? And continue to fish for another 3-4 hours or whatever it might be, trying to figure that out. Like,
I totally agree with the whole, like, to change the definition, and maybe not necessarily even change the definition, but use it in a different context. When you go out to fish and you don't catch fish, you're not failing as a whole.
Right.
You just, what your initial thought didn't work.
Yeah.
So, and then you try to switch it up.
Yeah.
And then if you go the whole day and you get skunked, well, then you failed to solve the riddle.
Right.
But you
there
didn't
you go.
fail. You learned. You learned all the different ways that didn't work. And then you can try to learn next time. Like, okay, none of this stuff seemed to work.
Right.
And then try to tweak it next time.
Yeah.
Or do the exact same thing you did last time. And then try to understand why it worked that time.
And it
didn't work last time.
Right.
It's all that kind of, you know, it's just this game. It's all trying to figure out why and when and where and how and the weather and everything has a role.
Right.
So that's why it's such a joke when you see some of that like infomercial stuff where they're just like, it catches fish constantly. And it's just
right. You're like,
everything catches fish if you wait long enough.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so you had down that early pre-spawn crappie. We had sort of talked about get better on the ice. Is that a goal? Is that we had pre-podcast, we had kind of had a little discussion.
Yeah, getting better on the ice is definitely a goal. Like I want to have more confidence. Not to like I really want to get to a point where like if I drove to a lake and I looked at a map, like the moment I got there,
you would have a spot
because
pinpointed.
I can do that. I can do that in the summer. Yeah, I can do that in the summer. Basically, like I still do my research and stuff. But if I went to a lake just randomly, I'd still have a starting point where I'm like, I'm going to try here. Like I could still do that in the winter, but I don't feel nearly as confident. And I think there's like some anxiety to that where you're drilling a hole and like I don't have a snowmobile and a setup to like run and gun like some guys are doing where they drive and they drill a hole and they try. Like I'm basically like setting up and hoping for the best. So I'm like, there's an anxiety level of like when you drill a hole and you're not marking anything right away, you're like,
right.
Am I even close? You know, just
for sure.
Because sometimes,
and also if your spot isn't sort of pre-populated in a way, right? Like if you don't, if you're just like out on the west side of the lake, everybody's over on the east side. It's like, oh shit, what do they know that I don't? Sort of like that. Yeah, like sort of peer pressure anxiety almost in a way.
It's some of that, and then there is a lot of other literature and like tips and stuff of people saying like get away from the crowd. Like you can do away for the crowd, but then you're just like, you know, that's almost the same thing where it's like, should I be over here? You know,
right.
Some of that stuff makes me nervous too. When, you know, you drive in your truck out there and you're like, is there a reason nobody else is driving over here?
right.
It's that kind of stuff where it's like, I don't know.
I'm just going to put down, be more confident.
Yes, I just whatever it might take, because I don't have an answer on how to build my confidence, but I want to build my confidence. So that's a goal, is to just build some confidence. I think it would help a lot if I had a snowmobile, but that's not a goal. Like if I had a snowmobile to drive on, I'd be far less worried about driving certain spots. Because I mean, it's not
because
like
of the less weight and the like, just because it weighs less and it's open. So if you go in, you can jump off.
And if it goes through, I'm losing like 5K instead of 25K or whatever. Yeah,
right.
Whatever it takes to get back everything that the truck is plus everything else.
Right.
So yeah, I was trying to be like humble, like 25. It's 25. I'm not. It's not 50. It's definitely not 50. I don't know. It depends on.
I know what you mean, but like
when you're doing the math, if it was
a new pickup of your caliber is of the 50-ish,
stupid expensive,
or
dude.
More.
Holy shit! You've seen trucks these days? It's gnarly.
It's crazy,
I used to look at cars when you're driving down the road. Not to go off on another tangent, but you see these like sports cars and stuff when you're a kid, and you're just like, that's like an $80,000, $90,000 car. Like there's $100,000 car.
Yep.
And you see an Escalade drive down the road, you don't blink twice at it, and that Escalade costs $110,000.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck? Like now you learn that, and you're just like, really? That big SUV that I thought nothing of is more expensive than these sports cars? I'm all like, hoo-hoo.
Right. Like, damn, but I think maybe 85 grand car.
Right. Maybe you don't get too impressed by it because that's like a 2-door and it's just for fun. Most of the time that's not their only car. But I think that's sometimes how people get away with having that. Is because they're single or they just have it's them and their spouse and that's it.
Right.
So that's why they can afford that because this is the only car we need.
Yeah.
Because all I need is me, her, and the space for my golf bag.
Yep, exactly.
But it's just, sorry to go off on a tangent, but life is like when you start thinking about it, it's like, dude, that's gnarly. I always thought that the sports cars were the big ticket item, and that's what it is. And now you see like a dually like F-350, like brand new, and you're just like, that's like $150,000 truck.
Yeah, you're like, damn, there goes a house. Nice.
Mm-hmm. I do that all the time when you see somebody pulling like a nice big boat or like a nice fish house.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that truck and fish house are worth more than my house.
Yep.
Or that truck and boat are worth more than my house easily.
Just like that. Second mortgage rolling down the road. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's get back on topic. Tim, what did you have anything else down? Because you said you had one thing, and it was a big thing. Because I just wrote down fish early pre-spawn crappies, but like when we review this is all like tweak electronics and stuff, and like we're gonna really see. So like you have multiple layers to that, where you can. I think you can accomplish that goal at like a 40, 30, 60, 80, 90% even, right?
Yeah, because I think the real goal is like be prepared and get out there early.
Right.
I think that's what it really boils down
like
to.
put the fish on it.
Specifically, because I mean that's the only fish we can catch.
Yeah,
I mean you can go like panfish is what is open season when the ice is
open.
Out. Yeah, because we can't go for walleye, we can't go for bass, can't go for pike. Like nothing else is on the table. So it's like crappie is
because you still want to be fishing. You just don't want to be out there just working on your electronics. Like you still want to put something in the boat. Like you want to prove that what you're doing is working.
Right.
By getting
fish. I'm not well versed enough. I've never had side imaging before, so that's brand new. So I want to also kind of confirm that what I'm looking at is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And I think I can kind of spot these school of crappie, hopefully. Right. And then be able to just be like, that should be crappie right there. Cast into them, catch one.
Confirm it.
Confirmed.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
So I'm going to jump back up to 2022 stuff and be ready for a stretch of time, cameras, walleye season. How you feeling? Like, do you want to move anything from the 2022 down into the 2023? Now we did the dogfish one, right? You took it down a peg. It was ambitious last year on purpose though, for funds. So like you have more fishing with cameras, and then you have a good stretch of time with cameras and walleye season. So kind of the same.
Yeah, and I think that carries over, because I'm ready.
Okay.
I have multiple cameras. I have extra battery packs. The logistics I nailed down on how to be able to record for a long stretch of time without having to dick with anything.
Nice.
And then I just never got to put it all together. So it's all there. It's all ready to go.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to make it happen.
Do you think walleyes are specifically a target again on that? Or are you just like, no, man, I just want to put fishing.
Well, I've been able to,
I just want to put it in the can.
I've been able to get out there with other fish.
Yeah.
So I think walleye is definitely a goal. But I think a more broader goal, I think we could just say like more time with everything, but I think it's almost like a subcategory. Like I think it's almost like, I think even if the episodes don't get fully produced, I want to shoot multiple episodes.
You know what? I get what you're saying. I'm just going to say, put fish and footage in the can. That's what I'm going to say.
There you go. I like it. Yes.
because there's a lot of things in the can that just don't go anywhere. And I know the second part is on me for sure. Like, and not just on me, right? Because I edit and we go back and forth. We have this creative process of like, hey, you look at it, you give me feedback, I edit it, we do things like that. But just put fishing footage in the can.
Yep.
That means get it on a hard drive. That's what it means if you don't understand old school tech terms.
Right. Put it on wax.
Yep. So yeah, I just kind of combine those. Like, I get what you mean by that's a subcategory, but I love the idea of just like getting more in the can, and then when we revisit in the fall or when we revisit next year and stuff like that, we're either going to have video to prove it, or you're going to be able to say, I got 8 gigs,
Right. Yeah, because I mean that's the other thing. I have an external hard drive.
Right.
Like I went and I have everything ready to get footage, and I have place to keep it all and stuff. I just need to get out there and make it happen now. And nice. I was like, I just need to hope for like less wind, but I almost wanted to put that as a goal too.
Less wind,
like to just
get like, a less windy summer.
Not even just be like less windy summer, to just be like, just get out there, pussy. Like what's the win? But like the other part is too, like as far as production goes, like super windy days, it's hard to get good audio, and that just sucks. Nobody.
Which we've also said multiple times on the podcast. It's like part of we're not trying to do that. Like that.
Right.
Oh God damn it. That's annoying. I hate
when
that.
You're watching them and they're like, there's like text on the bottom of the screen that's just like, sorry about all the wind. As I go fucking slap the mic arm.
As you slap the mic.
It's so annoying.
You couldn't hear it, but I know it was very funny. Like in a moment of
so annoying to have background noises.
But the thing is it's super annoying whether you have like on headphones, it's really bad. And even if you're just holding your phone and it's just like just out of those tiny little phone speakers.
Exactly.
Or you're listening to it on even like a decent computer. Like most of the YouTube I watch, I'm on a decent computer sound system because I'm an editor, right?
Yeah.
It's still is too much, even though the bass part of it is coming out of the sub and the higher are coming out of especially when it's not a good mic, when it's, well, not to shit on GoPro, but like those action cam mics, they just don't have the range really, and those high tones seem to come out more, and that's just ear piercing. Anyway,
if you have
let's not get into that too far.
You have to have like one of those muffs to stop. But I got to tell you too, like, I just had this happen the other day. Another thing that like gets super annoying is like, because I redid the plumbing. I went up there with a hacksaw, cut it off, and like replaced all the pipes and stuff.
Yeah.
But to learn that stuff, I don't know. I watch YouTube videos. I'm pretty good at taking directions, so I watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And this guy was filming as he was doing somebody's house, like talking to the woman that he's working on their house. So he's actually like at somebody's house. And he's like kind of talking to her and then like kind of talking quiet, because I don't know if he's trying to keep it a secret that he's filming or whatever.
Right.
And then without warning, he takes like the Sawzall, like the reciprocating saw. That looks weird. But that he takes that, so he's just kind of like, and then you want to do this, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and it's like, oh my god, I literally turned it up because I could barely hear you, and then you hit me with that saw. Are you shitting me right now?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not trying to give you that kind of garbage ass quality, right.
Let's keep the levels level here.
Exactly. So yeah, sorry again, another little bit of rant there, but it just happened to me, and that's a big part of why I don't want to fish in the wind, is because we just don't want to dick around with trying to
figure that out.
Trying to figure that out, trying to doctor it up to make it work. It's like, I think we just need to try to go out and more ideal conditions. And with having a full-time job, you're not given that many opportunities. So it really sucks when
it can be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, when the shitty days line up with the days off.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know without giving. We don't have to say what it is on this, but that camera that you got, that new camera that you got, that I think it was last year now. But anyways, that new camera that you got, I got ideas where it can make for multiple things to happen if you just use the one camera even. So it's not a big deal, but post is a big deal with that. Okay. I'll just say that. Okay. Post is a big deal with that one. Like we can do a lot of cool things with post in that one.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
I'm aware of what you were talking about.
Yeah. I don't want to say it yet because I don't know if we can produce it as well as I hope. Like if I have to get a new graphics card, we might have to push that camera. Anyways.
I get you. Yeah, I didn't even think about the producing end of it.
So. Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy duty. Okay. So I put down the Kyuger lure on there again. Just straight up catch a fish with it. So Tim, early fish, early pre-spawn crappies, electronics, like we'll come back to that. Build confidence on hard water, catch a dogfish, put fishing footage in the can, catch a fish on that Pokemon lure, on the Pokemon lures, but I put specifically the Kyuger because that's the one.
Yeah, because the bigger one is the one that's going to be harder to make it happen.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to add to that? Was there anything else that you needed, that you felt that you wanted to put on there right now, put on wax right now at this time?
No. I mean,
nothing you can think of.
I think of early, like I haven't been out ice fishing yet. And as long as
it's pretty normal.
Right around now, I think I need to find a lake around here that plows out some spots or that has some tracks where other people have driven on it enough that I have a road that I can use. Because the real problem with the amount of snow that we have had, and I've seen it on other lakes, so like there's not even that many permanents around here because the trucks I don't think can drive out because the snow is deep. So you're looking at like being able to pull it out with a 4-wheeler. And that's what I'm seeing is like small permanents. So I'm like, I bet like a 4-wheeler drove that out there. Or, they were able to hook it up to a snowmobile or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even it was a truck, but you just have a better truck. You got one, with the big mud tires or whatever that can handle this shit. Where, or it's a big, 250 where it's got a lot of weight to it because the plow trucks can handle driving, pushing snow on ice. So you'd think, anyways, but that's what I got to do is try to figure out where I can go. And then once I have a consistent spot that I can go, I think I need to learn a better lake out here because I am not as well versed. I think I need to choose a lake. And I think I really need to hammer down on one lake and try to figure that lake out a little bit. I think I need to accomplish my goal on one lake instead of jumping around from lake to lake.
Sure.
I think I need to do that. And
build that confidence by doing it in one spot, sort of. Not one spot, but like one location, because a spot, I guess, would indicate like a permanent. And that's not the goal.
Right.
The goal is to get more confident kind of overall, right?
Yeah, and I think really what it comes down to is just like finding fish. Like I will build the confidence with finding fish, and having my electronics, having that camera, and having the depth finder and everything, or the flasher. Like if I can get out there, and obviously I want to catch some, but if I can at least see some, even like if I can't get in a bite, maybe I got to try a different lake where people are saying the bite is hot. But if I can just learn exactly what fish I'm over, that's going to help a lot. So I think
with this confidence goal that you
exactly. Got. So I think I need to find a fish. I think I need to find a lake that I like that has multiple species if I'm trying to like go from one to another.
Mm-hmm,
and I need to try to figure that out, because I think that's how I got a lot of confidence in fishing as far as life goes, because I've messed with the same lake over and over so many times that I've really been able to figure out, the movements in this lake.
Yeah.
And then I've been able to apply that to other places.
Yeah.
But ice fishing is new to me. Even I've ice fished other lakes more than I've ever fished or ice fished salmon.
Right.
I really never ice fished salmon.
Right.
The first time we were ever up there, I took a rock and I busted a hole in the ice and we went out like 100 feet, and I thought we were out there a ways, and it ended up only being like 5 feet. It was kind of low at that point in time. So we were in like 5 feet of water and there wasn't shit there. So I've never ice fished. That's the closest I've ever come to ice fishing that lake.
Sure. Interesting.
Because my parents have a minimum maintenance road, so it's not plowed. You can't get down to the cabin in the winter.
You can't get down there. No, because it's also so far north that's where they get dumped on.
Yeah, and if they plowed, that'd be my first choice.
Right, because you already know it when it's open water.
Well, and I got a place to stay. I could just go up to the cabin,
Yeah, for sure. But I get you, because then you could depart early in the morning, come back whenever, and you have.
Yeah, I could just leave all my stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. It wouldn't be that big of a deal to walk out onto the water if all my stuff's there.
Right.
Just go and like grab my sled and pull it out from the yard,
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I think hammer down, like choose a lake and do my best to learn one lake. And then if I gain some confidence on that lake, start branching out. And obviously, if somebody else is just like, you want to go fishing, like, yeah, we'll go wherever you want to go. But,
yeah. Don't say no.
Yeah, of course, I'm not just going to be like,
but the building the confidence idea that you're talking about, like, is that's the plan. That's a really good plan. Shit, man, it's better than the plans that I got, because, I shouldn't say that entirely, because I have down get on the ice again as just a basic like goal.
Yep.
Just get out ice fishing again. So cool. If we get out ice fishing, great. Because that's really what the goal is go ice fishing with Tim. Now, I'm not saying there won't be other opportunities, but that's really what it comes down to. And if we go fishing and we end up getting a pike, that's 2 in 1, because I put down the pickled pike bites again, and I put it down as a video, and I'm putting it down. It's going to be a video. Now, if we're not filming while the pike is caught and everything like that, that's okay. Well, I will make it work. Trust me. Sure. I will fucking make it work, because it's such a goal. And when I get a pike, it's going to happen. It's going to be turned into pickled pike bites. Yeah. That's the whole point. So I still got that. And also, while I'm talking, Tim, if you come up with another one, just add it to the list. Remember.
Yep.
Putting it down on the website.
Put it down.
So if you think of something, let's just go. Okay. Walleye thing, I'm keeping that exactly the same too. Just try to get out with walleyes with the stuff that I haven't used yet, which is not new anymore, I guess, because it's like 2 or 3 years old or whatever. But okay. Here's where we start getting into a little bit of production and a little stuff like that. And I want to hear what you're thinking. You've already alluded to it a little bit, Tim. I got the catfish fry down again.
Yes.
But this was just catfish fry last year. Mm-hmm. Nothing more. Mm-hmm. So I'm adding a little bit to it this year.
Okay.
I want to make a short out of it. Now, I know that's what YouTube calls their like version of TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
Would it go there? Sure. Could it go there? Definitely.
Yeah.
What I mean specifically by that is make a short form video out of it, and however that ends up turning out, whether it be 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means yet, but I am saying that to say this. I don't necessarily think I will have a running camera while getting the opportunity to go catfishing, because there's a few areas, like I said it last year too. It's like I live in the kind of, sort of a river convergence area. There's a lot of rivers around me.
Yep.
So the idea of going out with a camera on all the time, isn't necessarily what I'm looking for, because I may be just going out with friends from the area. Like I might just be going out with neighbors or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to kind of deal with the idea of like, hey, I'm going to have a camera rolling the whole time. Yeah. What do you think about that, neighbor? It feels weird a little bit.
I totally get it. Like just to jump in with that, like that's another thing that I deal with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you want to get out there and record and stuff. And you see these people, like, you got to realize that when the people out there that are like making these fishing videos for YouTube and stuff, the majority of the friends that they're fishing with are other people that are also putting out YouTube videos. So they're all in the same boat. They're all doing that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And here in Minnesota, like a handful of us want to make videos and the rest of the state fishes. so you're like going out with people that like aren't in the same realm, and they think it's No, I wouldn't say necessarily anybody thinks it's weird, but I don't think a lot of people are out there just being like, put me in your video,
right?
So you just get everybody like looking at you weird. Like I fish so many places, I don't see a lot of people wearing cameras,
right?
So it's just, it does make things awkward and weird, and especially when you're going out with friends and people like those are almost weirder. Like you would think that like a friend is who you would want to have on the camera, but you're like, I don't want to put you in an awkward spot. Where it's like a stranger, it's like, I don't give a shit, I'll put a camera in your face.
Right. Yeah. Like we're in a public place and I don't fucking know you, but like with a camera on, you don't want to put the pressure on a friend who isn't comfortable on camera.
Yeah.
Because you want to just be out there fishing and enjoying and having a couple beers and talking. But like you turn on the camera and immediately they're just like, and like it changes the way they behave. And you're just like, why are you acting weird? And there's just like, there's something about it. Like there's always been something about that. People act different when the camera's on. Like,
it's even
they
like
just don't know what to
do.
It's just, they're in their own fucking head about it, is what it is.
Yeah. It's us right here putting out this stuff. Like a lot of people, like you say it or whatever, and they act like it's a big deal. And it's like, it's not that big of a deal to just get on here and talk and be yourself. Just be you, be normal. But a lot of people are just like, but I don't want people to see like who I am or whatever. It's like, well, I get it.
Right. Or like they don't even, they start to think about who they are, and or like they think that they have to entertain or something like that. And it's not that we don't think we have to be entertaining, because otherwise why the fuck would you listen or watch this stuff? But we started the podcast because we just think that our conversations are good and entertaining just as they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you don't want to force people to think that they have to keep talking. Me and you, this is just how we talk.
This is just how it goes.
We just always back and forth for 2 hours straight.
It just always used to just be like a phone call real quick and just be like, dude, I just got something real quick to say. And then like an hour later, you're like, damn, we did it again, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I called it a short. Like I'm adding that to the fish fry, is because I may not end up catfishing with people who actually want to, be on camera, be recorded, have their voice put out there, voice, image, everything, whatever however you want to put that. So, I do want to do that I want to append that to that, I guess, that's all I'm saying, is like the pickle pike bite. I plan on making like a more full episode, but if it falls into that shorter video category, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
This is a perfect time to transition into the real AF TV videos, goals and stuff like that, but I don't want to yet because I added 2 more.
Okay.
I know I kept my list short last year, but I added 2 more this year because I got those gillies.
Oh yeah.
And I want to pull a predator out of one of my local ponds is what I put down. That's what I'm going to put down. One of my local ponds.
Nice.
A lot of, again, I live in an area where that has a lot of water. And so like there's rivers and there's these little low spots and that hold water and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. Is get a gilly to pull a predator out of one of these, like, and I say local pond, it doesn't mean that it's not a lake. I just mean that it's not a major lake. Like it's something that I can drive to on a Saturday for 2 hours.
I think, like, now that you actually say that, I think that pond in the middle of town by you, you could catch one on a gilly, because I think that's probably their main forage.
That's why I bought the version that I did, is because, you've seen it, you've fished there, we've caught fish there.
Mm-hmm.
They look like that. They're just a typical bluegill that live in
There's
that
a
pond.
lot of small bluegill in there, and I bet you that's their main forage. I bet that's what they eat all the time, and that's why it's such a good bait. That's what that you want. A lot of baits are like mimicking bluegills and stuff.
Right.
And if the cold water lasts a little bit longer, I would assume that they're still doing their spawn thing. Oh. And a lot of times the bluegill will kind of like swim up on the spawning bed and stuff.
Okay.
And the bluegill imitations work really good at that time too, because the bass are like territorial.
Okay.
Sometimes the big females are swimming around and just kind of snacking on stuff that, they're opportunistic. They see a chance.
Okay.
And sometimes the males are protecting the bed and just trying to run off everything. Sometimes they're eating, not necessarily eating stuff, just sucking it into their mouth to kind of swim it away and spit it out to get it like out of there.
Okay.
And all you need to do is get it in their mouth, so.
Right. Yeah. Because once it's in, just pull.
Yeah. I think the gilly is an amazing bait. Is a great sunfish imitator.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of different times to use an imitation of a sunfish. So I think you could do that right in town. And that's so accessible for you.
Yeah.
That if you don't catch it the first day, try again.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for that. That's a confidence boost in it, because I'm ready to throw that. I'm ready to, but it's got to be a predator, of course, a gilly. So that's why, pull a predator out. I don't care what it is. Just, I want to pull something that's supposed to eat a bluegill.
And I think those fish are pretty pressured, because I remember like we went out there.
Yep.
And I had them looking at my bait a lot, and I saw the fish a lot.
Okay.
And it took me a long time. I don't know if you remember that, but we were out there for a while, where I was clearly seeing the fish, and it took me a while to get them to actually bite.
Yeah.
But I was using, I forget what. It wasn't a bluegill imitation. So matching their natural forage, that might just be the ticket. You might not even have to try. Just cast that in there, and it smells good to them and it looks good to them. Might hit it on the fall on your first cast.
Well, we can only hope. But thank you for the confidence booster. That is something that was something I wanted to put down on there, because of the other one was get out on the ice again. So that's not that big of a deal. So let's jump back to me talking about the catfish fry and the shorts. I put down in the Real AF TV goals this launch into short videos.
Dude, so here's the thing. Like, as you were kind of talking about that short video and you were saying like I can make some edits or whatever.
Yeah.
Literally pulled it up because I was going to write this in there, and I go, oh, you wrote exactly what I was just going to put.
Sweet.
Yeah. I want to do the exact same thing. Like,
all right, dude. Hell
when you said it, I was like, why aren't we doing that? Like, even if I don't get a chance to go out there and film for a long time, there's no reason we can't make shorts.
Yeah.
Like, if the day is bad, if stuff's going bad, find a calm pocket and do your best to get like 20 minutes to a half hour on tape.
Yep.
And we could edit it down to a short from there. It doesn't even need to be that long, but I'm just saying, like, give yourself some leeway.
No,
instead of being out there for like 5 hours at a time, you know?
Well, I mean, let's be totally honest, is like, again, we're not saying TikTok. We're not saying Reels. We're not saying Shorts.
But maybe
we're not
TikTok.
saying, huh?
I said, but maybe TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to pin it to a specific
sure. I get you.
platform or format even, because remember, Shorts, TikTok, they're vertical. Reels, they're vertical, right?
Oh,
if we're making because we're shooting horizontal almost always. Better video format. That's all there is to it. It's a better video format. But
for sure.
That's why I don't want to say this specific kind of short, because if it does get up to 5 minutes, right? If you shoot for an hour and we get 5 minutes out of it, fuck yeah, dude. Awesome.
Right.
That's still a short though. Sure. Anything that's not over, I want to say an hour now, but if you remember back in the day when YouTube first started, you could only upload 10 minutes at a time.
I do remember
that. It was a short video format. So like I'm saying anything that's 10 minutes or under is a short form video. And there are just now other platforms out there to do your 30, 60, 90-second videos, right?
Right.
So however that falls in to what we want to do, I embrace it.
Yeah.
I don't want to just say make a bunch of 60-second videos, you know?
Sure.
So
I get you.
Yeah, that's all. So I'm glad that you are like on the same page, because it does like the best videos on TikTok, the highest viewed videos on TikTok don't get made in 3.5 minutes.
Right. Exactly.
Put in 8 hours of work, edit it down to 60 seconds. Like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Or shoot even if it's
for
not
60 minutes, edit it down to a minute.
Right. Or exactly. Edit it down. That's what it is. And even if it's like something like stand up, or people are using like clips of their podcasts and stuff, there's clearly a lot more work that went into it. You're just taking a small little section of it.
Right. Yep.
So there's way more that went into making that clip. It's not like, you know, we just turned on the cameras, came down here and went, and then like cut that like minute.
Right.
But yeah, no, I agree with that. So because of that, like what you were saying, like I get what you're saying, but I think I would like to like put a goal for myself, because I can edit small things, you know, like I don't know a ton about it, but I know I can put together some small stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I would like to set a goal for myself then, as to put up some of the more TikTok-ish, you know, whatever that might be, on Instagram Reels or on the YouTube Shorts, where it is just small clips.
I got you.
Like so that. Because I have a lot of ideas that are more like comedic.
Yes.
And there's another fisherman out there.
I don't think we should stray away from comedy. We just didn't get as much comedy in that first crappy video as
for sure
maybe could have or whatever. We share videos on Slack or like ideas on Slack all the time, and they're fucking hilarious. We just haven't done them yet.
The ideas are there. We just need the time and whatever. But yeah, I've seen another fisherman that is on TikTok that basically just does humor and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it's not what he does, but I'm like, yeah, we can edit clips together like this. And if it's working for him, that can work for us. I don't know if it will for sure. Obviously there's no guarantees, but that's what I'm setting as a goal, to at least get some of these out there, to be able to again, more so like get the footage handled.
Yeah.
If the editing doesn't come right away, that's a secondary goal.
Right.
You know, but that first goal is to get the footage for the ideas that I have, not just like put down the ideas.
Right.
And then say like, oh, we'll film it some other time. It's like, if I get the opportunity, let's put down the ideas for that. save it, know what the idea names are. Maybe a goal is to like review some of these things and then break it down in categories of like, what do I need to do to make this clip happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then go out there and do that. So,
well, that leads me to one more thing. Like, I don't want to, you still got a thought? I don't want to cut you off.
No. I mean, I'm just kind of like, I'm almost in the moment, kind of like writing this down.
You're starting to work it out in your brain already in real time.
This here is like, I'll just have to listen back to this episode, I think, because I'm literally what you're getting is my brain working on the mic. So I think I just have to listen back to this and be like, what did I say? Because I don't know if I'll remember it. I apologize if anybody can tell that I'm sleep deprived. I'm doing my best to
no,
I'm on like great. half an energy drink and I'm like kind of sometimes I catch myself rambling and stuff, and just like we said, like this is over, I'll go to sleep, and tomorrow I'll probably forget everything. But I'll be able to listen back to it and then just be like, that's what I was talking about. And then when I listen back to it, it will be the new year with everybody else, and the vision board will happen.
Yes.
I will go get a piece of tag board. Now I'm getting a second wind. I'm getting myself amped up. No more tired. Okay.
Energy.
Sorry. Energy. What were you saying? I cut you off with my
random... No. I just wanted to say, like, I put down Tim's studio again. I just put it down because what you're saying to me, there was a lot of opportunity and worked in there.
Yeah.
That could be done with the studio. Like you said, what do I need to do to get this short to happen? I shot 20 minutes of video out in the field. What do I need to make this short happen? Bam, go to the studio. I got studio footage that I can throw in there. Like, that is why I'm going to keep it on there. Not only because I want to help make it happen, but I think it's going to be something that would help us launch into the shorter form, more, still good quality, just short form. I put up 26 good photos or short form videos. Like I put a number on it. I put 26 because that's roughly the number of podcasts every other week. Right. Yeah. So I put a number on it. So that way we can even go back and reflect on it. Now, where we put these photos, where we put these videos, I mean, photos, come on, Instagram, let's be honest. Twitter, not a bad place, right? Facebook, fine place for them.
Yep.
All the social medias are a fine place for those. So I didn't put it down specifically, but I said, just like decent photos or short form videos. I just feel like that's so achievable and something we can do to just make more content that we want to. Because am I wrong to say this, Tim, that with a good photo, because you've done it already before, comes a decent caption that follows sort of the goals of Real AF TV of like learning and like, like learning something from the photo or from the moment or being funny, educating with humor, I guess is maybe one way to put it,
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely like, when I put out a picture, I've never been one to just,
hashtag sweet fish.
Yeah. Hashtag weekend photo dump. Like I put out, like when I put a picture out there, I put a caption, and I haven't done it very much recently. And again, like not to make excuses, but I feel like therapeutically, like I'm getting back to like a good headspace where I'm not like pissed off.
Sure.
We've talked about it before. I had the Nintendo Switch and the DSLR camera, stolen
from you.
So
a year ago, right?
Yeah. So exactly. So some of this stuff, like it shouldn't have lasted that long, and I should have been able to get over it, but for some reason I couldn't get past it.
Well, I mean, like I'm out not there, to like be like weird or anything.
No, I totally get
your
it.
Personal space was invaded, dude. Like,
yeah, and I wanted to, like, I want to go out there. I did a lot of research, and I was like really digging into the camera and trying to learn the ins and outs of it. And I know like the used camera is not that much, but as far as like spending money on something I already had is like so hard for me to do when I've already like purchased it, and like now I gotta go buy one again. Like I don't like doing that. I like to buy something, and then if I make an upgrade, that's fine.
Right.
But now to just go like flat out go buy another camera when the other one is just gone, like it's not that big of a deal. And I don't want to go off on this,
but it's
or
a
whatever,
mental hurdle, and
but
that's like
it is,
that's just like
yeah.
the honest truth of it.
And it's like I wanted to take these photos and I wanted to put this stuff down, but like in this moment of like I'm getting everything ready and I'm making sure like I got this camera and I learned how to use it, it's gone. It's been
almost
taken
when
away
you were
from me.
peaking too, which is part of the problem.
Yeah, it was like right when I was like I'm really starting to figure this camera out. I'm starting to learn how to do it. I have all these ideas to go and take pictures.
Yep.
And it like took something from me in a like it like
It
to go
took those
I can't think
it
of the
tainted
word right
all those
now.
ideas then on top of it, right?
It like the motivation, that's the word. Like the motivation to go
Yeah.
do it. Like it was kind of like taken away from me, where I'm just like I'm back to my phone. Like I've
Right.
always had my phone. Like I'm
Right.
back to taking pictures with my phone again.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone cameras are as good as they've ever
Dope.
been. You know, they're ridiculously awesome, and I could just get over it. But it was like something about it kind of put me in a funk. And now because there was such a hiatus, it feels now there's this hurdle of like, when do I come back in? How do I get back into it? You know, it's that kind of stuff. Like to be transparent to everybody that's listening and stuff. Like, why isn't there as much Instagram content out there and stuff? It's like the part of it is because I am busy, but it's not that hard to go take pictures and stuff. It's like the other part is just like, when do you jump back in? You know, it's like double dutch. It's like it's there to be, but like
analogy.
when I don't want to fuck it up. I feel like I'm gonna like hop in, and I don't know. I want to come in with the right thing. You know, I gotta. That's part of it. Where and I don't want to half-ass it and come back in with like a couple of pictures and then not have
and
content
then drop off again
to
right
continue
away.
it. Yeah, I want to have a game plan to make sure I know what's going on. So not to go off on too much of a rant
but that's
again,
why
but
I also put it down.
I mean,
the way I did.
It's a perfect goal to set up everything to be set up to make sure we have all of this stuff down. So I think and to be transparent again, like with the whole like when stuff was taken from me, I did end up getting a new Switch. So like my mom hooked me up for Christmas. She has this like reward system, like not trying to be like, you know, for some reason I feel like I need to justify that I'm like not just getting gifted this stuff. I'm not like a spoiled brat.
I know.
Like it didn't cost her any money to do this because she has like this reward system through her work. So it was a very generous gift for her to spend her like points that she gets rewarded for through her
so
work.
essentially her like bonus money, if you want, like, is a way to look at
pretty
it,
much.
right?
It's like a bonus money to just go get shit. You know, it's not like she gets to spend it on, you know, whatever or invest it. She has to use these points to go and get tangible items, and it's all cool stuff, you know. But it's that kind of, but like that therapeutically was like, that is given back to me. I now no longer walk past the video game aisle in Walmart or Target pissed off, because that was legitimately like I would walk past him and I just every time I seen it I'm like, ugh. Or I'd be watching TV or like a YouTube video and a Switch ad comes up and I'm just like, and it's stupid. I know it's stupid, but it's so it just made me mad. And that's kind of what the pictures were doing too, where it's like a memory, but it's like I got half of it back. I'm ready to move past it.
Yeah. And that's also why I put like it's also kind of why I put it down on the Real AF TV and then just put an asterisk by yours, is because like I don't like together, like I want to help produce that content now too, right? It's like, okay, in Slack, I'm just gonna like send some videos like, hey, here's a video, or here's a photo, right? I think this will work. Like, I think this will get us to our 26. Now, is that going to happen this week of the podcast? No. Is that going to happen next week in the off week? Is it going to happen in January? I don't know. I don't think so, but it doesn't. The goal is 26, kind of like one per podcast, like sort of balance the two, right? Like, here's the podcast, and then here's another thing that's just a little bit more work, a little bit more time, and get quality stuff by keeping it at that level and putting a number on it where we can go back on this come the fall and say, like, cool, we got 15. We have 3 more weeks to get up to our goal of 26. Mm-hmm. Can we produce that? Can we get that without putting up shit? Without just like walking up and hashtag photo weekend dump or whatever you said.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't think that this needs to be put down either, but I think a good tangible goal and a good like just state of mind to be in too is to knowing that this is going to happen again next year. Like, as far as like, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
I want to come into next year's episode, not just being like, let's carry over this stuff from like, talking like Eeyore.
I know.
Let's carry over this stuff from 2023 to 2024
from last year.
It's pretty easy to make a list when your list didn't get checked off.
For sure, dude. That's a really good point. A really great way to put it, especially with me but that's also when I, the transfer it over and adding a few things to it too. It's just like, well, you can only transfer and add to for so long before the goal's fucking unachievable. But
that's what I was
100%.
Like, that's what I was like too when you were asking, like, do you have more to add? And I was kind of thinking, like, there are things that I would like to do, but I think I need to not overwhelm myself. I wouldn't say our goals are lofty, but we have a lot that's out there as far as accomplishing the stuff we weren't able to accomplish already. Like,
right.
Let's not get too crazy and add on other stuff. If we're able to accomplish those goals and move beyond that, great. But to put everything down on the board is almost like a daunting task in itself. And
the vision board will get crowded, dude. You'll look at it.
The vision board will get crowded.
Collage, bro.
Yeah, if we hit June and I'm like haven't like hit anything, I'll start getting discouraged. Be like, we're halfway through the year and I haven't done a fucking thing again. But I don't see that happening this year. I see it's just it. I think, especially like knowing that we came into this year, like the end of this year, with this whole like what happened with our goals. It's like, I think that's motivation in itself.
Yeah,
when
for sure.
Stuff isn't going right, and like you're tired and things aren't really happening. It's like, just whatever.
Right.
You got to get it done.
Yeah. Get out there and get a fucking good photo, man. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Right.
All right, Tim, let's start wrapping this up, and I'll bring up something after this. Anyways, do what we always do. Like, subscribe, because we are over on YouTube. Remember, Real AF TV, Real like fish and reel. Look us up. We could use the subscribes. We can use the likes. We can do the comments. We look at the comments. We see the comments. We get back at the comments. All of that fun stuff. We are interactive with that. Remember, patreon.com/realaftv, patreon.com/realaftv. Real like fish and reel. You already heard it in the middle, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm blanking right now. Help me out, dude.
The Patreon, did you say that?
Reviews on Spotify. I think you got to be on the app. Reviews on iTunes. All that stuff helps us out.
The reviews help for sure. It's a big deal. I actually heard that like the algorithm, like it's not the amount of like listeners you have, it's the amount of like interactions and reviews and stuff. Like,
right.
As far as iTunes go.
Yep.
That's what I heard, is like they don't give a shit how many people watch it.
Yeah. Those are for you. Those are for us as the producers of the podcast to use for whatever, motivation or reason or however you go about using them, but the algorithm doesn't really pay that close attention. And it's because it's a social interaction thing. Like, if you don't have an engaged audience, then it's not necessarily doing that well to the algorithm. Does that make sense?
Yep, makes total sense. It's just like Siri sitting back there and you're like, Siri, we have like 1,000 views. And then Siri's like, I don't care. They didn't say anything to you. Did they say what's up? No.
Right. So give us a 5-star review that just says what's up, and we'll be like,
what's up?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yep. Write whatever you want in there. Just mash the keyboard. I don't care.
It's got text
but seriously. Seriously, like if you have any feedback for us or whatever, like hit us up.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Or leave it in a review. If you have any questions, I know that we're not always like getting in depth, and like your feedback that you had with like not always in Minnesota or whatever, like if people got questions about Minnesota fishing, like I know a lot about Minnesota fishing when it's open water. Obviously we talked about the hard water here, but I can still answer some questions. Like we can hash it out together.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I'm more than happy. Like I am more than happy to take advice from people too.
Yeah.
If you want to reach out and just be like, I heard your podcast. Here's how I always start my day. I'm not going to just be like, whatever. Like I will listen to what you have to say, and just be like, really? Like that's okay, cool. I will give that a shot, or, whatever
or have
it
a back and
to
forth.
be. Yeah, have a back and forth.
For sure.
You got to respect your peers, or your like whoever's on the even above you. Like I'm not going to shit on anybody that's just like, I just want to get that out there, that if anybody says like, I think you should do this, I'm not going to just be like, which one of us has a podcast? Because you could have a podcast too. It doesn't...
Yeah, for sure. That's I love that you put it that way. It's just like you're not going to be that guy about it just because we have a podcast and just because we're on these platforms and stuff like that. It's just like, no, guys, we're out here to engage and learn and be interactive with the listeners and the people who are watching too, of course. So don't be shy. We're listening.
Even if you come off as having no idea what you're doing, if you can tell me how you caught a fish, like if you caught a fish and you tell me how you caught a fish, I'm still interested. Yeah. You might not have any other experience except for this one fish that you caught this one time, this one way. I'm still interested to hear how you did it,
Yeah. And we'll just ignore the blatant dickheads.
Oh yeah. If you're an asshole, like that's a different story. I might not ignore you. I might.
That's right.
Like
Tim sometimes likes a battle.
Sometimes it's fun.
I will fucking ignore you.
Yeah, we're not big enough to just be like, I have to ignore the 3,000 of these dickheads today. It's just like, if you're a dick, I might come at you, bro.
Just saying.